Good afternoon, everybody. So today's vlog is going to be a little bit different. I am working from home today, and one of the advantages of working from home is I'm able to cook myself lunch in the kitchen here. And as you know, a couple vlogs ago, I did some grocery shopping and picked up a bunch of meats, and one of the things I picked up was a bunch of wings. So a couple weeks ago, I freestyled this Malaysian air-fried chicken wing dish that was just really great, and I wanted to recreate that today, but with some actual measurements, so I could share this with all of you and be able to recreate it for myself. So that's what today's vlog is going to be about. I'm going to take you through how I make these super crispy Malaysian curry wings, and let's have that for lunch today. Okay, so I have taken out everything that I'm going to need to make these wings and laid them out here on the table, and I will take you through that, first starting with the utensils and then going into the individual ingredients after. So let's start off with the measuring spoons. So we've got both a half and a full teaspoon, and then also a half and a full tablespoon measuring spoons here. We've got a big bowl. This is where you're going to toss the sauce with the finished air-fried wings. We've got a smaller bowl here, and this is what you're going to be mixing up and making the sauce in. Down here we have a cutting board and then a piece of parchment paper on top of it. So this is optional, but I like this for better cleanup because we're going to be dealing with some raw chicken meat, and that's going to help you out with the cleanup afterwards. And then I just kind of have this little grill top, so this is where I'm going to be laying out the chicken wings when they come out of the air fryer. And lastly, of course, the air fryer. So love this thing. As you've seen in my previous vlogs, I use this to air fry everything, and I'll leave a link in the description on where to get this, but you're going to need an air fryer to cook the wings. Now for the ingredients, we'll be going down the line. So these all grouped here are what we'll be using to make the Malaysian curry sauce. So the main ingredient here is some butter. You're going to definitely need butter. That's the magic ingredient for all wing sauces. And then we've got some soy sauce, got some bear honey, some lemon juice. You could replace the lemon juice with actual real lemons if you want fresh lemon. And this is the secret ingredient of the sauce, which I'll talk about later, but we've got Mama Lamb's Malaysian curry paste. So we've got the traditional here, and then we've also got the hot sauce. So this is what's going to make it spicy if you like your wings super spicy. And then for the seasoning that we're going to be using for the chicken, we've got some black pepper, we've got some garlic powder, we've got some paprika, and then we've got Himalayan rock salt. And then lastly, we've got some spray-on olive oil. This is good because you're going to be using the air fryer. This is going to prevent the chicken from sticking to the air fryer, and we also want to reduce the amount of oil we're going to be using overall, so the spray is a better way to do that than just kind of drizzling oil into the pan. And that's it. That's all the ingredients, and the last, of course, the most important part is the wings itself. So I got this package of wingettes at the supermarket. I paid $7 for it, and there's about 12 pieces. There are 12 pieces in here. If you compare that to, you know, going to a bar or a restaurant and getting wings, you normally pay about like 14 bucks for like 6 wings. So this is a really good deal, and you know, because of COVID, I haven't been able to go and get some bar wings, and I love my bar wings. That's why I've been, you know, making the wings myself at home in the air fryer. So that's it. This is all of the stuff that you'll need to make this recipe. So this recipe is going to be divided into 2 parts. The first part is going to be teaching you how I make super crispy air-fried chicken wings, and then the second part will be the sauce itself. So I'll show you all of the things that go into it and how much of each ingredient goes into it. And then the last thing is just mixing those 2 parts together to get to your final dish. Alright, so for the chicken wings, the first thing that you're going to do, and I think this is the most crucial step to getting crispy wings, is patting down each individual wing and getting that moisture out. So we've got some paper towels here, and I am just going to be patting each individual chicken wing to get that moisture out. This is what's going to give you the crisp. So be very diligent with this. Make sure the chicken is not glistening after you pat it down. This is going to either make or break the crispiness of your wings. I would even take it an extra step further if you're down to try this out, but this is a tip that I got a while back, is to use an hair dryer, and you could actually use a hair dryer to additionally dry out these wings to make sure that when you put it in the air fryer, it'll get super, super crispy. Alright, after you have patted dry those wings, the next part is going to be seasoning them. So you'll see a lot of other people season this in a bowl, but I like having them spread out. That way I could evenly season everything all in one shot, instead of just throwing a bunch of seasoning at the top and trying to mix it in and hoping that the seasoning touches every chicken. So it's just something I like to do, just seasoning them all spread out like this. So start off with a little bit of pepper, getting each individual wing with a little bit of pepper on top. Next thing is going to be the garlic powder. So I literally season everything with garlic powder. I'm just going to lightly sprinkle some on each one. Going to be very light on the paprika, just a tad bit. This is kind of a magical ingredient here. So next we're going to do some pink Himalayan rock salt. So this is kind of strong, and you're going to get a little bit of these crisps with every other or so bite. So you don't want to go too crazy with this, but just a little bit of sprinkle just over the entire thing. Like I said, you don't want to go too crazy with that. And that's pretty much the seasoning. Alright, next we'll want to preheat the air fryer. So we're going to start this off at 380 degrees. So we're going to want to preheat this at 380. You could have done this while you were seasoning the wings, but this thing's a little bit loud and I'm trying to record this video, so I'm doing it after. Alright, once that is preheated, we're going to want to get the wings into the basket. So first thing you're going to want to do is spray the basket with some of your olive oil cooking spray. This is to make sure that the wings don't stick to the inside. So give it a nice spray. Spray the sides, because we are going to use the sides of this tray. And then what you're going to want to do next is put the wings into the tray. Now, the secret to this is you don't want them to be touching. You don't want them to be on top of each other. They really should have some space between them to ensure that they get cooked nicely and get really good and crisp. So just put a nice single layer across the bottom here. These wings fit really nicely. You might notice that I am using only wingettes here. I am more of a wingette person, but also this is what my supermarket had on sale. I don't know, are you a drumette or a wing person? Let me know in the comments. So you might not be able to fit all your wings in there, but there is a hot tip here that I'm going to share with you. And this is also why we put some oil on the sides here. You could actually use the sides and put the wings along the sides. All right, those guys are standing. Now we're going to pop this into the air fryer. Alright, so with your wings in the basket of the air fryer, we're going to first start this off. So we're going 380 for 15 minutes to start. Alright, so while that is cooking, we're going to want to move on to making our sauce. So the first ingredient, this is going to be the least scientific measurement here, is the butter. So butter's the most important ingredient. Like I said, in every single wing sauce, there's a lot of butter in it. So trying to be careful with this. If you do want a healthier sauce, use less butter. But I'm going to just use about this amount for 12 wings. I don't know, however you want to measure that, but we'll throw that in there. And we're actually going to want to melt this. So I'm going to just pop this into the microwave real quick for about 15 seconds to melt it. All right, we got some melted butter here. And first thing that we're going to want to add is the main ingredient, which is Mama Lamb's traditional curry paste. So this is mostly what you're going to want to add, and if you do not like spicy wings, you're going to add a little bit more of this instead of adding in the hot sauce, which I will do afterwards. So we are going to first take 1 tablespoon of this sauce. So about 1 tablespoon of that goes in. Now, next we're going to want to use the Mama Lamb's hot sauce. A little bit less of this. This stuff is pretty strong and pretty spicy, so we're going to go with a half of a teaspoon, and maybe a little bit less than that, but yeah, we'll pop that into there. Now, like I said, if you like really spicy wings, you're going to want to add more of this instead of less of it. Next, we're going to put just a dash of soy sauce. So I'll use the half teaspoon measurement, but you don't want to have the soy sauce overpower this. We just want a little bit of that flavor in there. All right, so we've got about a half teaspoon of that. Next up is going to be the lemon juice. So I do like a little bit of sourness in my wings. This is kind of the replacement for vinegar, which is kind of the flavor you'll get with other hot sauces. So I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon to start, but you could also test this to flavor. Actually, let's go with 2 teaspoons and a little bit more. Okay, 2 teaspoons of that lemon juice. And then lastly is going to be the bear honey, the clover honey. So this one I'm not going to give an exact measurement for. I'm just going to pour it in, and then you might want to adjust according to how sweet you want your sauce, but kind of like some sweet sauce, so I'm just going to squeeze a decent amount in there. Once you've got all of those ingredients in there, you're going to want to mix this all up. Depending on your palate, if you don't like things too sour, don't put as much lemon juice in. If you don't want things too spicy, don't put as much of the spicy curry in. If you like things sweet, add a little bit more of the honey. And yeah, that's pretty much how you're going to make that sauce. First 15 minutes are done. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Oh yeah, got a nice crisp on them. I'm going to shake this up a little bit. Now, I think I'm just going to flip this over onto the other sides, and then we'll do it for another 5 minutes at 400 degrees. All right, these guys are all flipped over now, and we now have a lot more room because they shrunk a little bit. So we'll just pop this in. And then this is where we will finish it off for the 400 degrees of 5 minutes, and that should be it. All right, that 5 minutes seemed to go really quickly. Now this is the final reveal. Nice. After the wings have been finished cooking, I'm gonna just pull them out, and I'm going to lay them here on this little baking tray just to let it air out a little bit. There's a lot of oil and it's a little wet, but let it air out a little bit to get a little bit more crispy before we toss them into our sauce. So just laying them all out here. They look beautiful. Got a nice little browning on the skin. Now we have the grand finale. I just let this sit out for like 5 minutes just to air it out a little bit, but I don't want it to get too cold just sitting out here. I want some nice hot wings. So we're gonna just pop this into our bowl. This is where we're gonna be mixing it with our sauce. So just drop them all in here. There we go. We are all in the bowl now. And we're gonna take our sauce and we're gonna drizzle it on top while shaking it up a little bit. So I'm not gonna just dump the whole thing in there. I'll put a little bit in, mix it, and then put the rest and then mix it. Alright, that's it. This is the completed dish. We've got ourselves some 12 Malaysian curry wings. So if you want to know more about this Malaysian curry, it is called Mama Lam's. It's locally made here in Queens, New York, and this stuff is amazing. So we had actually originally saw this at the grocery store. They were giving out free samples of it, and me and Jess loved it. So we've since ordered additional pieces of these Malaysian curry and hot sauce, and they're just really great. So I can't recommend them enough. It's not sponsored. I just love this stuff. So I'll put the link down below on how to get this Malaysian curry hot sauce. Alright, as you know, this video won't be complete without a proper mukbang. If you like this video and you want me to do more of these little recipes that I've learned how to do through quarantine, please subscribe to my channel and comment down below. But yeah, I'm just gonna dig right into this.